Picture this. You are standing in the cereal aisle at your regular grocery store. You grab the same box you have been buying for 3 years. Same brand, same design, same spot on the shelf. You toss it in the cart without a second thought. And that right there, that automatic, loyal, unquestioning grab is worth billions of dollars to the company that made it. Because if you had weighed that box in 2021 and weighed it again today, you would find it is 15% lighter. The price went up, and you walked right past it without blinking. Now multiply that across every single item in your cart, every product you buy on autopilot. Across 52 grocery runs a year, the number that comes out the other side is not $50, it is not $500. According to consumer research tracking middle-income American households in 2025, the average family lost the equivalent of $14,000 in real purchasing power last year to shrinkflation and its related tactics. $14,000, quietly, without a single price tag changing enough to make you flinch. My name is Bruce, and I spend way too much time thinking about the ways money disappears before most people even realize it is gone. If you have ever felt like your grocery bill keeps creeping up even though you swear you are buying the same things, you are not imagining it. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up because today we are going to name exactly what is happening, exactly how much it is costing you, and exactly who is profiting off your confusion. And by the end of this video, you will never walk through a grocery store the same way again. So let's start with what shrinkflation actually is, because most people have heard the word but do not fully understand the scale of it. Shrinkflation is when a company reduces the size, weight, or quantity of a product while keeping the price the same or raising it slightly. It is inflation in disguise. Instead of charging you more on the sticker, they give you less inside the package. The price looks stable, the shelf looks identical, but your dollar is quietly buying less product with every single transaction. And here is why companies do this instead of just raising the price honestly. Humans are psychologically wired to notice price changes far more than size changes. A bag that goes from $4.99 to $5.49 feels like an attack. A bag that stays at $4.99 but loses 15% of its contents? Most people never notice. Companies have known this for 50 years. They have entire departments dedicated to figuring out exactly how much they can remove before you catch on. Now let me give you the real numbers, because I need you to feel the actual scale of this. A standard bag of Doritos went from 9.75 ounces in 2019 to 8.5 ounces today. Same bag, same price, 13% less product. Bounty paper towels dropped from 165 sheets per roll to 147. Tide Pods went from 81 pods per container to 76. Folgers coffee went from 51 ounces down to 43.5, a full 15% less coffee in the exact same sized can at a higher price. Haagen-Dazs ice cream containers went from 16 fluid ounces to 14. That is 2 full scoops per container, silently removed. And these are not cherry-picked examples from obscure brands. The consumer research firm Datassembly tracked over 40,000 products across major U.S. retailers and found that shrinkflation affected more than 10% of all grocery products between 2021 and 2025. 1 in 10 things in your cart got quietly smaller while your receipt got quietly larger every single week. Stay with me here, because this next part is where it gets really interesting. Here is how the $14,000 number actually builds. The average American household spends around $9,800 a year on groceries. If your real cost per unit increased by 11% due to shrinkflation, while the sticker price only rose 4%, your actual grocery inflation was 15%. That is an extra $1,470 a year just on food. But shrinkflation is not limited to groceries. It is in your household cleaning products, your personal care items, your paper goods. It is in the restaurant portion that lost 3 bites while the menu price gained $2. It is in the streaming service that quietly raised prices while removing content. It is in the gym membership that dropped a class per week from the schedule without a single email notification. It is in the subscription box that now ships every 6 weeks instead of every 4. When you add the full scope of product and service shrinkflation across everything a household spends money on, independent economists tracking this put the real purchasing power loss between $11,000 and $16,000 for a median American household. $14,000 sits right in the middle. It is not a scary headline number, it is just the math. And now here is the part that should make you genuinely angry. Between 2020 and 2024, while the cost of goods was supposedly rising and companies were citing supply chain issues and raw material costs to justify shrinking your products, the profit margins of the top 20 consumer packaged goods companies actually expanded. Read that again. They did not just pass rising costs on to you. In many cases, they used the cover of a difficult economic environment to shrink products, raise prices, and pocket the difference as pure profit. This is what economists call greedflation. It is using a real crisis as a convenient excuse to permanently extract more money from consumers who are too distracted, too trusting, or too loyal to check. And it is happening on a scale that the official Consumer Price Index does not fully capture, because the CPI measures the listed price per unit, not the actual value you receive per dollar spent. Your real inflation rate is not what the government reports. It is higher, meaningfully higher. So what do? Because I am not going to lay all of this out and then leave you with nothing. 3 moves. That is all this takes. First, read unit prices, not shelf prices. Every major grocery store is legally required to display the price per ounce or per unit on the shelf tag, that small number underneath the big one. That is the only honest number in the entire aisle. 2 cans at the same shelf price can have completely different unit costs because one has been shrunk and one has not. The unit price does not lie. Make it a habit. It takes 3 extra seconds and it changes everything. Second, treat brand loyalty as a financial liability. The brands shrinking the fastest are the ones you trust the most, because they can. You keep grabbing on autopilot. Store brands and generics are frequently manufactured in the exact same facilities as the name brands, at 20 to 40% less per unit. Switching on even 5 items per grocery run puts hundreds of dollars back in your pocket every year. Your loyalty is costing you money, and the brand is not loyal back. Third, go big on non-perishables. Large format versions of products shrink slower than small format versions. The economics of bulk purchasing still work in your favor. A 64-ounce bottle instead of a 32-ounce bottle. The family size instead of the regular. This one habit alone can offset a meaningful chunk of the shrinkflation penalty you are currently absorbing without knowing it. You are not overspending. You are not imagining it. You are not bad at budgeting. You are being systematically charged more for less by corporations that have spent decades and millions of dollars studying exactly how to do it without triggering your awareness. The entire strategy depends on you never noticing. You just noticed. Use it. If this video put a name to something you have been feeling for years, do me a favor and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And hit that subscribe button because we are going to keep pulling apart exactly where your money is going until there is nowhere left for it to hide. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.